Hi, and welcome to another Albion video from the catlyfe. Today we're going to talk about things that I see new players do wrong, what I think is wrong, what chat has helped me understand that is wrong, thank you chat, and things that to help you get a better understanding of the game and better entry into the game. This video is for people that are not necessarily convinced that Albion is the right game for them, people that don't know anything about Albion, people that are new to Albion, just started, and people who are interested in starting Albion. So without further ado, let's go into the 10 points to help you make the most out of your initial experience on Albion.
catlyfe.
The first point is, I see a lot of people that are constantly afraid of going to the black zone. I see people who spend months playing the game without going to the black zone, which is such a loss of resource because the black zone gives you more experience. You shouldn't be afraid of the black zone. Just because it's a full loot PvP area doesn't mean that it's bad. The best content, in my personal opinion, is in the black zone. I don't know why there is this kind of concept that you shouldn't go to the black zone before you have like tier 6 or above gear. Or I've even heard some new players say that if they cannot re-gear tier 8, they shouldn't go to the black zone, which is absolutely not true. I mean, there's tier 5 zones in the black zone. You can go with a tier 5 in the black zone. That's absolutely fine. Hell, you can even go with a fucking tier 4. Oh, shit, I forgot that's YouTube. Okay, no swearing. It's okay to go into the black zone. If you see these swords above areas, avoid these areas because that's where the fights are happening. And that's fine. But I would recommend getting into a newbie friendly guild that has areas in the black zone where you can go and you can farm at peace, kind of at peace. Depends on the guild, depends on the location. But if you do your research, you can find a place where you can actually go and farm in the black zone relatively safe. As safe as you can be anywhere in the black zone. Don't ever buy things that you cannot afford to rebuy, and don't think that you need to have amazing gear to get in. Don't be afraid of dying, and if your guild's black zone hideout, set your home there. Put some extra sets in there. Know every time that you go through the portal, you may lose the home unless you wait for the cooldown. And you need to set it every time. Avoid black zone maps with bridges. Bridges are bad. I'm going to show you what I mean by bridges. Like this map over here, this one in particular. You see how the map is split into like 4 areas and each area is connected to the other with bridges? That's bad. They're going to kill you on that bridge. All right? So don't go to the bridge. Easy. Avoid this area. Avoid areas like that. That's it. That's my only... You can tell I've been burned by the bridges. Bridges are bad in this game. You see a bridge, don't go on the bridge. Just don't go on the bridge. Just don't go there. That's it. That's all you need to know. Second note. Second point. Make money from the starter island to help you out. When you are on the starting island, you can make things like rough stone. You can even take the donkeys and sell them once you are like in a main city. You can sell them for much more than they are in the starting island. But if you take enough rough stone to be like 200% overweight and be very, 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 very slow, but you'll make your way to a town and you'll sell them and make like 100 to 200k silver, that will be your initial money that you start off with. And it's going to help you. It is very easy to lose all of your money when you start out if you don't start out right. Look for party content in the yellow zone static dungeons first. And sell everything that you get to make more money. That's the third point. The third point is go to the static dungeon in the yellow zone. I'm going to show you. For example, I'm in Bridgewatch right now. And if you look at the surrounding areas, this is a static dungeon. It appears as a dungeon on the map. In Snapshaft, true. Like, that's a good point. Where I went there for the first 3 days that I was playing. And I went to the static dungeon right over here. These little dungeons on the map, these are static dungeons. These are dungeons that don't ever change. They are always there. And you can go to deeper levels. And when you go in the yellow zone, which is a zone where you can die but people cannot loot you. When you go in these zones and when you stand in front of the static dungeon, you'll find a party. You don't even have to look in LFG or anything like that. You don't even have to have friends. You just go in front of the static dungeon, say that you're looking for a party, and within 15 minutes, probably 30 at most, you're gonna find a party and you're gonna go in and you're gonna fame farm. And anything that you get from inside that dungeon, you can sell and make money. For example, I made about 2 million in my first 4 days of play. And that was a very good initial, like, money for me to start. What is fame? Great question, Thank you so much. Fame is your experience in this game. Experience in this game is called fame. Fame farming is basically experience grinding. When you get when you kill mobs, you get PvE fame. When you kill people, you get PvP fame. Those two are very different things. Okay, you can have PvP fame and you can have PvE fame. What you want to do as a beginner, which we have that in another point later on, but you start off from here, your trainee fighter. That's your first point that you get, right? From here on, every time you kill mobs, you're gonna grow your river tree. Here, guys, I'm telling about the rivers, okay? Your river tree will allow you to do more damage and take less damage from creatures. And you want to max that out as soon as you can, because that will be your base. The final Elder River is how you basically start serious gaming, right? Serious gaming, bros. This is what you need. Fame is the game. You need to get here as soon as you can. I got here within 2 days, I think, from starting. But I was playing like 10 hours a day, so keep that in mind. It's not hard to get. Just get it. Just get there. You do it by anything, just killing mobs. You do the same thing with the journeyman, with the adventurer tree. I think I got the adventurer tree before I got the river tree. I think I got more experience for that. I don't know if it requires less experience, but this basically allows you to wear capes, bags, horses, anything that you require in the game. And you need those maxed out. And you'll max them out very quickly, so don't worry about it too much. Point 4. Join a noob-friendly guild, but not a potato farm. What people refer to as a potato farm is a guild that takes every new player that they can get, and they have a lot of tax in the guild, and they take your money, basically. Because every guild can have a tax. Anything above 20%, I think, is too much. There are some guilds that don't have any tax. There are some guilds that have like 30% tax. You do not want to be in those guilds when you start out. When you start out, you're looking for anything from 10 to 20% tax or no tax at all. There's big guilds, there's smaller guilds. Just join one and they're gonna help you out. There's a lot of noob-friendly guilds out there. Go on the official Albion forums or on the official Albion Discord. There are separate sections for guilds where they can advertise their guild and they can recruit you and you can apply, and it's a fairly easy process, and it helps you a lot because they will have areas in the Black Zone where you can set home in their hideout and you can farm things there with the safety of your hideout in that zone. It makes things a lot easier. But the bigger the guild is, the more enemies they're gonna have. So keep that in mind. If they're a very big guild that have a lot of enemies, you'll see a lot of gankers in the Black Zone where you have a hideout. So there is a higher chance of getting ganked and getting killed. But also there's a higher chance of having scouts everywhere and people warning you in the alliance or the guild chat. There's just high risk, high reward, basically. This game is all about high risk, high reward. The more you risk, the more reward that you're gonna get for it. No, it's not tax like every X days you have to give them money. It's a tax when you loot money from the ground. A percent of it goes to the guild. So every time you go in a dungeon, every mob that you kill drops money. You pick up that money and part of it goes to the guild. That's the tax. Okay, now the fifth point, point five, is about quality of life stuff. Quality of life stuff. Like, for example, when you're a healer and you press Alt Q. Wait, let me actually show you. When you've decided that you hate your life as much as I do and play a healer, you want to be able to heal yourself quickly. And to do that, you press the Alt key. With, for example, my heal here is on my Q. So when I press Alt Q, I'm healing myself. No matter who I've targeted, Like I'm targeting this guy. When I press Alt, I'm healing myself. When I'm not pressing Alt, I'm healing this guy. And that's useful. This is very useful when you want to heal yourself because you're dying very quickly. Instead of targeting yourself, you just Alt Q and you heal yourself. Easy. Any skill that you can target yourself for, like bubbles, shields, etc., you just press Alt and that skill, and you are targeting yourself instead of whoever you have targeted. Easy. Then you also want to set your keybinds from 1 to the equal sign instead of F1 to F12. Especially if you happen to have a Razer Naga mouse that is dirty as mine, that has all the buttons on the side of the mouse. That way I can go through the people in my party easily. When you're in a party, you can drag people's names to change the order of the party members. If you cannot do that, check the little cross above the first person in the party. Click that and you'll unlock the people so you can drag them around in the party. And that way, the first person at the top of the party list will be number 1, the one after them number 2, number 3, etc, etc, etc. So you can put them on your mouse or on your just 1, 2, 3, whatever numbers to make it easier to shift through the people. Especially if you're a healer, that's easy. Switch to RTS, that is when you go in the game settings and you go to controls. You can go to the mouse control scheme. By default, the game will have classic controls. What a classic controls is, you press left click to move and left click to select. That way you can accidentally start attacking things or people by moving towards them. You can accidentally target someone by moving to them, which is bad. You don't want to do that. So you go back to RTS controls, which means when you left click, you only select. You select people by left clicking. You don't move when you're left clicking. You move when you right click. So you can move when you right click, but that way you cannot accidentally select someone because you only select people, not with right click, but with left click. Something like, you know, the controls in League of Legends. That will make sense to people that have played League of Legends or any other RTS for that matter. The other quality of life improvement, which is more recent one, is use the native client from the website instead of Steam. If you use the game on Steam, you're gonna pay more real money for gold. If you are paying real money for your premium, if you are paying real money for gold for whatever reason, for cosmetic items, for gold, anything, if you are using real money, use the native client of the game. Download it from the website itself. Do not use Steam because Steam is more expensive. Point number 6. Wait, is PvP optional or whatever server you go in, or can you attack by anyone? Okay, great question, Ino. There is only one server in Albion. Every single person from all around the world is on one server. There are pros and cons to that. The pros are obvious. Everyone is all together. Everyone all together, which is great. I wish more MMOs did that. But the cons are that there is one server and it's based in the US. So people in Asia or people in Europe get very bad ping. Like my ping on average is 80 to 100. And that's based in the UK. I know people in Asia get 200 ping on average. Which could kind of cripple your game at times. I wouldn't say it's unplayable like an FPS would be at 200 ping. But it's still putting you at a disadvantage. Okay, point number 6. Focus on maxing out something first. It's easier to get fame that way than to put specs in 10 different weapons and armors. You'll get more damage and higher IP when you max out a weapon. So what I'm saying is, be a master of one thing and not a jack of all trades. The game will reward you for doing one thing. For example, I've selected to hate my life and be a healer. Therefore, I've been leveling the most the Divine Staff. I'm currently on 87 out of 100 on the spec for the Divine Staff. And I'm not gonna level the other ones more until I have the Divine Staff full. Because once I have 100, I'm gonna get more bonuses. And I'm gonna get more, what do you call that? Combat fame credits that you can use to put in other specs. Once you're maxed out, you get combat fame credits. You use the combat fame credits and some silver, so it actually costs money, to put those credits into a different spec or even the same spec. If you click this, you can select how many credits you want to use. For example, by default, fame credits, this is using 162k, and it's going to cost me 100k silver to get to 96 if I wanted to even. That's 3 million fame. I don't have that much, but you can see that you can get all the way to 100 using fame credits. And that's cool. And you're going to get more benefit by maxing something out before, instead of getting everything to just a little bit, you know? Point number 7. If you're gathering or crafting, I would suggest to max out one tree first and use learning points only for gathering and crafting if you're using one character. If you really want to min-max and be that person that is min-maxing hard, you can make a different character for gathering, a different character for crafting, and a different character for combat. And all of these characters will require premium for you to maximize them, because premium gives you more learning points. Are there penalties for dying? Yes, this is a full loot PvP game. So depending on the zone you go to, when you die, you lose all of your equipments. Everything you are carrying can be looted by other people or break. So if you're gathering or crafting, the best thing to do, the most efficient thing, is to max out one tree. Just focus on one tree, like fishing or like stone is also quite beneficial. And max that out before you go into any other tree. And use the learning points that you get. Premium characters passively get 20 learning points per day. And non-premium players can earn 10 learning points via the Adventurers Challenge daily bonus. So if you are a premium character, you get 20 learning points per day, which is why I'm saying if you're doing old characters for gathering and crafting, you need premium on them to maximize their efficiency. But if you are on one character for both PvE, PvP content, and gathering, only ever use your learning points for gathering, because it's the slowest thing to progress without learning points. It is very, very, very slow and very grindy to get these things up. That sounds like a huge negative. Yes, this game is very, very punishing. This is a pretty hardcore MMO, PvP focused, and it's very punishing. And this is why you shouldn't buy stuff that you cannot afford to lose. Okay, point number 8. Following the gathering crafting, use your focus. Your focus will cap at 30k, and you can use it on your island or for refining. Make sure you refine in the right cities, because the price will vary from city to city. Now, what is focus? Focus is something that you can use when you gather, craft, or farm on your island. And you get focus every day. Especially if you're on premium, you get double focus, I believe. And your focus caps at 30k. So it is more efficient to use your focus for something than let it settle in there. You can get, if you pay for premium, you get your own island. You don't have to pay for more than a month. Just paying for the first month will give you an island forever, even if you never pay for it again, ever, after that. Barry, can you not eat my plant? Don't eat my plant. Don't eat the plant. Just sit down, sit down, sit down. Be a good boy. Okay, use your focus. Point number 9. If you really want to spend money on Gucci gear and play the game by avoiding PvP zones, you can invest money that you earn in a hardcore expedition set and do that. It's not as good as Fame in the Black Zone dungeons, but it's closer and it's pretty fast as well. There's always people looking for HCE groups in the Discord for HCE or in LFG in the chat in-game. Hardcore expeditions are dungeons that you can go through from every city using the portal. Let me show you. I'm gonna go and show you the portal for HCE. You can do it solo or you can do it in a group. The group dungeon gives you more experience. You also have dailies for it. So these are the portals for the HCE dungeons. You can do the solos. There is very bare minimum requirements. You can go in groups and it gets progressively harder and harder. Tier 4 to 5 is pretty decent. It's like pretty noob friendly. You don't have to invest a lot of money in Gucci gear for that. But anything above 6, you're gonna have to invest millions to get good enough gear to be able to do it. It's a very high investment But you can do this without getting in a PvP zone. There is no PvP in those areas. You cannot lose that gear. And that's that. So if you want to play the game like a standard PvE MMO experience, you can do that. Point number 10. Whatever path you choose to follow in this game, whether it's PvP, PvE, ZVZ, Hellgates, Corrupted Dungeons 24/7, whatever you choose, have fun and do what you love. You can be just a gatherer or a crafter. You can just help transports. You can just do whatever you want. That's the beauty of Albion. You can do anything. And there are so many resources out there to help you understand the game and get better at the game. There are so many wonderful content creators out there creating amazing guides to help you, because the game doesn't really have tutorials. The game doesn't really teach you much. And people expect the standard MMO experience when you go in there, especially if you've played games like WoW or Final Fantasy XIV. This is not like that. This is more like Ultima Online or RuneScape, I suppose, or EVE Online even. It's more similar to these games. So if you come from a traditional MMO like WoW-like game, you're gonna be confused at first. But that's okay. That's okay. You're gonna have a good time anyway. You just have to learn the ways of Albion Online. And that's that. And have fun. And you're gonna love it. And I'll see you in game. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell button, right? Right? Right?